Good morning and welcome to Cut the Kibble. I'm Paula and this is Miss Bella, my 11-year-old Bichon that I've been cooking for most of her life. So today I want to talk to you about foods that you can offer your dogs to help them not get disease and not to die from the foods that you're giving them. So for the first few minutes, I want to talk about kibble. Let's just cut to the chase. What is in that kibble? Have you ever heard of the 4D foods? 4D. These are the foods that can be in your kibble. The beef and the chicken that goes into your kibble. D's, they're dying animals, diseased animals, disabled animals, and dead animals. Yes, there's no control over what type of meat goes into the kibble. And this is nothing new, people. I've been telling you about this book from Dr. Kalesa, Natural Dog. This was written in copyright, I think it's 2009. And she talks about it in here that there are those animals in the kibble. And back then they were seeing, the FDA was seeing euthanasia drugs, phenobarbital in the food. Well, guess what? It's still happening now. The FBI, FDA, it should be the FBI because the FDA is not doing a good job. The FDA is still finding euthanasia drugs in kibble. They're finding high excessive levels of vitamin D that have killed so many dogs. So you need to try to get off the kibble. I know not all of you can home cook. There's other mail order foods that are human grade foods that you can get. It's very expensive. It's not as good as home cooking because it's carb loaded foods, which is not good, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, but it's better than kibble. You want to get human grade food for your dogs. All right, so let's move on to the video. It is just astonishing the amount of dogs that have cancer. 1 in 3 dogs will get cancer. 1 in 2 dogs over the age of 10 will get cancer. And in some breeds, it's just unbelievable. The Goldens, 75% of them will die of cancer. Okay, we want to try to prevent this. In human studies, 1 in 3 people that have had cancer, those cancers could be prevented in diet. Now, before I go any further about this, I want to say, you can do everything that you can for your dog by giving them human grade food, by not doing flea and tick, by not doing heartworm. I know I said all this, but like if you live in Mississippi, you need maybe to do heartworm. By doing minimal vaccines, and you're doing everything, and your dog is still going to get cancer. Look, if they're walking on beautiful grass, more than likely that grass is chemically treated. Okay, so they're walking on it day in and day out, and guess what? It gets into their blood system. They lick their paws. My husband would love to have a beautiful grass, but I said, please don't do it because of the dog, but still you can do everything and your dog can get a disease, but there are ways that we can help prevent it. All right, so let's see where we're going to go here. I'm sorry that I haven't had my coffee yet this morning. So what we need to do is, what can you do to help prevent these diseases? Okay, the number one thing is you need to add protein. And if you're going to buy a mail order food, you need to make sure what type of protein it is. If the best, of course, is grass-fed, because the cow then is not eating GMO foods, etc. But it's also important to know that fat in food, particularly in raw food, The fat has a lot of omega-6s. And the ratio for omega-6 to omega-4 should be, omega-6 to omega-3 should be 4-to-1. And unfortunately, a lot of dogs, the ratio is 30-to-1 and 60-to-1. It's really high, especially with kibble, because kibble is carb loading. And omega-6s are mostly carbs. And why is omega-6 bad in large amounts? Because carbs turn to sugars. Sugars cause inflammation, and inflammation is a precursor to cancer. So that means when you buy your kibble, you don't want to see the ingredients corn. Corn has a lot of different bad things besides omega-6s. You don't want to see soy. You don't want to see potatoes. You don't want to see peas. You don't want to see carrots, because they're all sugars. And sugars turn to inflammation, which is a precursor to cancer. And inflammation also can cause arthritis. So you need to be aware of that if you have a senior dog. And that's why I only do one carb for her in her food. So protein is very important. Number 2, what's very important in a dog's diet is fats. Fats are the omega-3s, the good fats you want. We talked about the bad fats. So what are the good fats? From fish that swim in cold waters. Sardines. You know that I put sardines in every one of my recipes. I get sardines that are packed in water, sardines that do not come in from Asia, because Asia has bad cleaning practices, and there's a lot of poop, and the poop goes to the fish eat the poop and all that stuff. And you want sardines that do not have salt added, because sardines swim in salty waters, so they are naturally salted, okay? So you don't need salt added to sardines. Another good thing to add for your dog's diet for oils is fish oil, but you have to really research that. For me, I'm not going to use sardine oil or anchovy oil. The sardines and anchovies are the same basically, because I'm giving her that and I want to add variety. So I'm going to add salmon oil. Now, the thing about these fish oils, they can go rancid very quickly. So, you can get a real cheap salmon oil or a sardine oil. You don't want it. You have to spend money to get fish oil. The oil has to be not in a clear bottle. It has to be in a dark bottle, not a plastic bottle, in a glass bottle, or maybe, aluminum, aluminum bottle maybe. And it has to be double walled so that oxygen doesn't get in, and it should have a pump. And the pump you should be able to open to squirt and close. Why is that? Because if you keep it open, the pump open, there's oxygen going to get into the oil, and the oil's going to go rancid. You spend all that money and the oil's going rancid. So it's very important to get not only a good quality oil from clean waters, like in Iceland or even Alaska, but you need to get it that the bottle closes so the oil doesn't oxidize. Some people like krill oil. I don't use krill oil. One oil that you should never ever use is cod liver oil, because of the vitamin content in it. It can be toxic to your dog, so do not use cod liver oil. Okay, the number 3 thing you need to add to your diet, or if you're going to buy, a food from Farmer's Dog, God, they're so expensive, and they have low quality foods. I've done a review on it. I'll try to put a link in the comments. But are vegetables and fruits. So protein I do 60%, and vegetables and fruits I do 30%. let's talk about the fruits first. Okay, the only fruit that I add to my food is blueberries, and try to get the organic blueberries. Let's go back for a little bit. A lot of people say dogs don't need fruit. Okay, we learn a lot about feeding our dogs from the wolves. The wolves go and hunt and they get a fresh kill. What do they kill? They kill rabbits and they kill deers. What do rabbits and deers eat? They eat all your flowers, they eat berries, and they eat nuts. What's the first thing that the wolf eats? They go right for the organs, like the liver, because all those fresh vegetables are filtered through the liver, and the liver is rich with nutrients. But the only thing is, it's pre-digested for the wolf because the rabbit or the deer have already eaten the fruits, and so it's digested. So that's why you always need to cook your vegetables. Don't give your dogs raw vegetables. They will not be able to digest it well, and then you're going to get problems. So now vegetables. This is where I have a huge problem, not only with Kibble, but with all these mail order, home cooked, human grade food that you can get. Because I've done at least 6 reviews, and they have potatoes, peas, and carrots. No, you know why they're doing that? Because it's cheap. It's cheap, and they're going to charge you a higher amount. I only do one high starchy vegetable, and it's always only, it's in the orange family. I'll either do a sweet potato, butternut squash, or pumpkin. Again, the reason you don't want to do starchy vegetables is starch turns to sugar. Sugar can cause inflammation, which is a precursor to cancer. Sugar can cause diabetes. Sugar can cause obesity, okay? All these things that dogs are getting now. Dogs are getting diabetes. So many dogs are obese. Why is that? Because of the carb loading in the kibble and also in these mail order foods. So what foods do I add? Okay, I do low starchy foods. Asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, collard greens, what else? Brussels sprouts, cabbage, zucchini, and be careful with spinach. I do spinach on a very minimal diet because spinach can cause bladder stones in dogs. It can cause that in humans also if you eat too much. So do that in a very minimal diet. So I add 1 high starchy vegetable and 2 to 3 low starchy vegetables. And I do it all in a rotation. I'm not going to give her the same thing. I'm not giving her the same protein. I'm not giving her the same vegetables. I mean, do you want to eat spaghetti every day? No, it's boring, okay? And if you eat the same thing all the time, you're going to build a tolerance for it, and you're going to get allergies. Okay, so if you home cook, you also need to do calcium. You know, I just love Animal Essentials products. That's what I get, the seaweed calcium. And you need digestive enzymes to help the dog break down the food. Digestive enzymes with a probiotic. The probiotic is good to help the gut, and especially when the dog gets older, they lose the ability to have the enzymes. So that's to digest the food. So that's why you want to add it. And then some little things that you can add, some herbs. Garlic and ginger are very good herbs to add. They're antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, miracle herbs. But you want to do it in little amounts. You don't want to do the whole bulb. You'll kill your dog. You want to do, she's 14 pounds. She can get like 1/4 teaspoon of garlic a day. What I do is if I make a recipe with a pound of beef, I'll do like 2 cloves of garlic, and that gives me like 9 meals for her. So she's getting that little bit of garlic. And it also prevents fleas. Now, all this good food, without the chemicals, without the synthetic vitamins. By the way, you get Kibble or you get this mail order food, they're having synthetic vitamins in it. Synthetic vitamins are from China. Don't do that. Like I would say, like 90% of the synthetic vitamins are from China. And that's what's causing a lot of health issues with dogs, skin allergies, etc. If you make your own food, I don't give her a multivitamin. She's getting it from the food, okay? So anyway, I just want to say, be careful with turmeric. I know a lot of people put turmeric in their dog's food because it's an anti-inflammation herb. My vet gave me a bottle of turmeric. And that turmeric is in the trash now. I did a review on it. You got to be careful. If your dog is a hot dog, meaning she doesn't like to be hot, or if it's really cold one night and you're under the covers and she's on top of the covers, she's a hot dog. Turmeric may not do well for a hot dog. It didn't do well for her. The vet gave her a straight bottle of liquid turmeric, and she was so ill for 36 hours. And they only gave her 1/2 of a dose. So I put turmeric, the herb, in the food sometimes, but it's spread out over a whole recipe. So you need to be careful, and don't go crazy on the supplements. So many people do so many supplements. If you do the right foods, if you know what to do, you don't have to do, again, I just do calcium and I do the probiotic. She does get a senior supplement because I want to help her with her brain and her heart. But that's basically about it. So I hope this video has motivated you, has educated you, why you should not be doing Kibble because of the 4 Ds that go into that Kibble and the synthetic vitamins. It's just, you need to try. I know not everybody can home cook. So then go ahead and do one of those mail orders. It's better than the Kibble. And if you want to have a consult with me, let me know. I had somebody the other day, she said, Paula, I'm going to send you 6 foods that I could buy. Can you tell me which one, rate them all? So I did that for her. I want to help you, okay? I've been doing this for a long time. I do a lot of research. I want to help you so that you can have a healthy dog that has a strong immune system to fight off all these diseases. All right, I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm going to go now. So please subscribe to my video and share it with others. All right, bye-bye.